Welcome to episode 8 of Let's Play SimCity 4. Now, as you remember, we just zoned a very large industrial zone for developers to move into. Now, what's one thing that usually comes with industrial zones? Residential zones, because people have to live somewhere while they work at these jobs. So we're going to say this. A residential developer has bought this field here, and they're going to develop it into their own residential development. So what they're going to do, first, they're required by local ordinance to put some commercial on their property. But otherwise, they're going to build residential streets. Now, we're going to be very careful in the way that we build these streets. And there's a reason for this. We don't want anyone cutting through this residential development as a shortcut. Like if I were just to drag a road across like that, people would cut across here. So what we want to do is make sure that it would be more convenient for people to stay on the major roads than use our residential development. It's kind of a moot point here because no one's going to come out here, but you get the idea. Also, they want to build some nice waterfront property for their more expensive people. So we're going to put it right along here. Yes, this will be a very, what's the word I'm going to use here? Very secluded little private development. And this is a little trick I like to use often when designing cities. It's a very American approach, and I wouldn't say I'm a too big of a fan of these kinds of developments in real life, but in SimCity they look kind of cool, so we're going to go with them here. What we're going to do is individually we're going to put down residential squares like this. You might be thinking, why are you doing that? Why don't you just build big ones? And to that I respond, you will see when the houses develop. We will have nice little tract houses. Something you'll see very often in American suburbs, especially ones that were built in the 50s through, say, the 70s. I mean, after the 80s, things started to get a little bit more, larger. At least, well, I'm speaking from the perspective of someone living in the Northeast, so it might not be true everywhere. We'll put a little store here. Alright, we'll put 2 spaces there, why not? But now, you notice we've missed some spots because we wouldn't be able to put one thing there, so we're going to put small park greens there for people. And over here, we're going to put a small little police station. In fact, we'll go one up on the size. Let's see. Can I get this guy to flip the right way? You know what? Who cares? That's just fine. And we'll give them a basketball court. We'll put some more park greens. Now all these cost money, but I believe that the expense will be paid back and then some when we have our income from these more expensive houses here. So what we're going to do is put our ritzy residential here along the water. There we go. One more park for good measure. And as you can see, they've already pounced on this. Oh, yeah, more green space. Why not? And as you can see, we already kind of have a nice little suburban type housing development here. Pretty cool. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have either lived in a place or know of a place nearby that looks kind of like that. But let's see how our our industrial zone is developing. Slowly, but it's getting there. Alright, this whole zone is really no longer used, so we're just going to de-zone all this. And what are we going to do with it? We will put in more residential, so sorry dude who lives here. Your house will be sacrificed for the greater good. Yes, the powers of eminent domain are much stronger in SimCity than they are in real life. Let me tell you. So, got a little nook here for them. There's the mayor's house. Get a little sound here. 104 uninvited guests. Wow. Well, I guess we really got to keep a better hold on that. Well, let's speed up time to see how things develop. I know what we do need. They want to have their water connection. Now, like I said, water's expensive. But it's worth it. You'll see soon. I'll bring water to the state fair, why not? I might as well connect this. Smartest thing to do. And see how high our residential thing is? We're gonna build some more. We'll continue the natural street pattern in this side of town. I'm kind of wondering, in general, do you like the aesthetics of a grid set up like this, or of a suburban tract housing like this? We'll build a more spaced out suburban development later on, the kind you most likely would see being built in America within the last, say, 20 years, or maybe a little bit more, depends on where you are, really. Oh yes. People really want to move to the great city of New Babylon. So we're going to give them plenty of opportunities to do so. I'll throw in some commercial zones because usually right when you get off the bridge there's some things. Alright, yes, and it's another constant in this world that farmland will be paved over for other purposes. For better or for worse. Yeah, just like that. Alright. Oh, there's some room for stuff here. They'll have to just build with the space that's given to them. Well, so far so good. Join us next time when we will visit one of our neighboring squares. Oop. We'll talk about what this message means next time. But this is something about our zoning and why having such low density zones is a problem. But like I said, we'll talk about this next time. Alright, well, fine. First, we'll build their church. They don't want this episode to end, do they? No, they don't. But yes, they have their church, and next time we will heed to their demands and build some high-density zoning. So see you then.